Thank you. Thank you. Now, hey there, hi there, ho there. Mindful Pig here, and this is the Two Tired Dudes podcast. On this episode, we're going to be talking about how big do we think the Switch 2 launch will be. We're going to be talking about what TV show, what television or movie franchise we'd like to see become a game. And then going out on that, I also allowed the community to think about ones that have already come out. So, example, The Matrix, Lord of the Rings, Avengers, right? And if they had, their say, how would it be different? And then for lifestyle, I said, what extra class is important for all students to take? Example, metal shop, wood shop, cooking, etc. I am going to read out the comments because I only had one, sadly. But it was from Marie. So she wanted to chime in for the class discussion. So her comment was, I would have loved to have the maintenance version of home ec, like basic home and vehicle care. We had a lot of trade classes, but they were all geared towards people who wanted to get certified in those fields. But it was a hot minute since I've been in high school, so things may have changed. Sidebar, I also recognize the schools can't do everything and have absolutely no budget to try, but I would pay someone's dad $50 for a community center class that teaches me how to change a flat tire or change my oil. I agree. I think that'd be a really good class to have. Um, hey Marie, speaking of which, um, sorry, did I see someone else pop in? Oh no, it is just me. Okay. Weird. I thought I saw someone else's name. But yeah, so that was Marie's comment. Trying to think. Did I have anything I didn't really recap last time? Um, I think it was at the end of the podcast. I said everything I was playing. So, yeah. I was just trying to think. I was like, yeah, I did cover everything from last time. Ah, see, now I turned it up. Now you can just really hear me breathing deep and heavy. Um, this past week it was yesterday we did Smite, which was really good actually. I was kind of surprised how easy I guess it was to get into Smite and like start to understand the controls and all that. Um, Other game modes I don't know yet, but Arena was just straightforward, right? Like get to the other side, kill all the dudes to stand in your way. And I loved it. It was it was a lot of fun actually. I played as this cool like bow and arrow girl, and then I switched over to this whale, and the whale was devastating. That was the best choice I made all stream. I don't really know what he was supposed to be, but yeah, like he was just this big giant ass whale, and yeah, he was just killing it. I did really screw up last night though, because I was trying to, while I was streaming, sorry, I was trying to download my edit for the first podcast. So if you listen to us now, the podcast is now out there on YouTube. I'm just trying to wait for Anchor to do its thing, and then it'll be on audio form for you guys. Um, but yeah, anyway, so I was trying to get that downloaded. My Chromebook kept crashing and everything. Oh, it was just so frustrating. It was just, I literally walked into that stream just raging, and no one would have known. Um, the Chromebook just kept crashing. It wasn't doing stuff it was supposed to do. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's a good shout, Cheyenne. I think you and me, I know we've had this conversation before, but I definitely agree that Rob Zombie would make a fantastic video game. Um, hmm. I'm trying to say, like, I wonder if it'd be like close to Manhunt. I feel like that would almost be Rob Zombie style, but like that seems like an insult. Like, not that Manhunt was a bad game or that um, Rockstar isn't good at pushing the boundaries, but I think Rob Zombie would definitely do a lot better um, if he got to make a game like that. I think his would be really interesting, and that's probably the most adult game I could think of as far as like Rob Zombie's talents would go into. But I agree. I wonder if he is a gamer. That's something I should look up to see. if that would ever be a possibility. I could see him being some kind of a gamer. He must be. He's too out there not to be. Um, yeah. So Smite's really good. If you haven't tried it, yes, please do. Smite 2 is coming out one point. I don't really know when. But that's got to be playing the first one again. I will say that rewards are incredibly easy to get. I don't know. I must have gotten. They're not all chests, but let's just say it was chests, right? I must have got like 9 notifications in the 2 hours that I played. So like that was pretty decent, right? There was quite a bit and enough game time playing that I was able to already unlock another god or whatever. I can't just all be gods. I don't know what the hell the whale would have been if it was a god. But anyway, yeah, I digress. Friday. Oh man, Dark Souls. Dark Souls I played Friday. Dark Souls was great. It was stressful. I hated myself for so long, but it was a good time. It's that's what Dark Souls is about. Um, Give me a pig. um, we ended up beating the moth. And I think that's about as far as we got. I went to Blighttown. I figured out how to get there, and yeah, we just kind of ended it off that way. I mean, there's not much more I can say, right? Until I actually beat the game, then I'll probably have a longer conversation about Dark Souls. But for now, like, yeah, it is what it is. We also on Wednesday played Nobody Saves the World, which, like, I would say this is a game that you should play and try, because I think it is a fantastic game. It is. If you like the old school, lots of grinding RPG, this is your kind of game. Mixed it with dungeon. Oh, you want this? Sorry. Mixed it with like dungeon elements, right? But you're gonna be playing like, okay, this game is quick and fast. I think we looked up, it was only 15 hours. But you'll probably play this game for about 40 to 60 hours, just trying to grind out every single class. Some classes are good, some classes aren't, right? Depends on your playstyle. I personally hated the archer. I found the archer to be extremely slow in that game, but I loved like the slug, the rat. The rat was amazing. For those of you that don't know, basically you're this. I don't know what you call him, like just this blank dude. He kind of just wakes up in this world, sorry, with no pants on. It's supposed to be like funny that's going on. Yeah, and then you make your way to the first dungeon, and you end up just finding this wand on the floor, and you get to make your very first choice in the game, which is, do you tell the person you found the wand, or do you keep it? And I decided to keep it, which was a good call, because the next step I got sent to jail, and that's where the first dungeon is. And then, yeah, with that wand, you can turn into your first creature, or your first different form. So it was a rat, right? And with the rat, I was able to escape the jail cell, and so forth, so forth. The cool element that they do, a little flashback to Super Mario 64, is they use stars to open doors. So you need 6 stars to open this door, 9 stars to open this door, and this is where the game, like I said, becomes a little more of a grind, because with let's say the rat, okay, you play as the rat. The rat will get so many objectives, kill 50 enemies with the rat, use whatever his special ability is 10 times, right? And so forth, right? They give you different examples to do. And then with each form, you get another opportunity to get 4 different, whatchamacallit, 4 different stars. So let's say there's 20 different forms, right? You got 4 different stars for each class. You're gonna be able to open quite a few doors, right? And that's the idea, right? They want you to try all the forms out. They want you to get as many stars as you can. I can't remember what it was, if it was a level up or if I just came across it as an upgrade. But there is like little special things you can add on, almost like perks, I guess you want to call it. So one, for example, was I would always continue to gain experience from killing creatures. So I think it was like kill 50 oh my god. Kill 50 creatures, not teachers. Kill 50 creatures and gain whatever it is, 15 experience. Hey Tommy. yeah, and that would just be ongoing, right? It would just keep doing that every time. It may not have been a lot of experience, right? But it was a cool little perk. I added on right away because I thought that one was pretty good. Actually, shout out to the Tominator, because if it wasn't for him, I never would have played this game. And yeah, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. I'm definitely gonna go back into it this Wednesday. I promised Tommy I'm gonna do that one for him again because he didn't get a chance to watch it all. Actually, shout out to Tommy too for Friday because Friday I'm gonna play Gems of War. It was one of his picks that he had. Um, yeah, so that was Nobody Saves the World. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. Um, Working this time, yeah. Yeah, yesterday, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch, chat, and play the game at the same time. Like I said, I was using my phone because my Chromebook was tied into a download at the moment. Um, Tuesday, obviously, I just did this, the Minecraft and Two Tired Dudes podcast, and yeah, that would have been it. Man, that was kind of crappy. I really didn't play too much. I just honestly played a lot of Dark Souls. Like Friday was pretty much all day Dark Souls. Wednesday was pretty much all day Nobody Saves the World. Um, yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was just it was just a small amount of games, but a lot of hours plugged into all those games. I definitely want to go back into Immortals Phoenix Rising. I was talking about the one to JW on the last podcast. Um, I just want to play it out. Like, it pisses me off what it's doing right now in that game, but I also want to play it out just to see if maybe not every god deals with heavy platforming, if some of them deal with, just straight up kill, kill, kill. um, I also want to finish Far Cry Primal. That one's another one on my agenda that I want to wrap up. And I still need to do my Dark Souls. I still need to do what you call it, the food video for you guys. There's still one more food video on the way. I know you guys like those ones. It's basically me trying a bunch of Japanese snacks with a few American items thrown into it. So that's that one. I actually really need to do that soon because I'm sure that food is gonna expire right away if I don't finish her up. Yeah, and then I still got two more podcast episodes. So right now, like I was saying again, just a reminder that you can see one of the Two Tired Dudes podcasts. For those of you that do check it out, let's see if this works. Nope, I think that's YouTube. There we go. That's the one I wanted. We'll have to update it because it still says mobile games, but it's actually not. Um, yeah, if you do watch the Two Tardies podcast on YouTube, by all means, please give me feedback, everybody. I'm trying a new little style with it. I know I'm 3 weeks behind, but this is going to be the faster way of doing it, I think. I just kind of made it a little fancy by adding a few animations into it. But the main key, I guess, feedback that I was looking for was I tried to make it a little more simpler now because I love JAW's idea about having something about the game visual wise when we're talking about it, right? So I mean, if there still is a part where I'm saying like, "Hey, dude, you turn this corner, right? A giant spider's gonna attack you." I'm still gonna try to have a clip of that if it's something that's important. But instead of just always having clips and random images and all this other shit I was using last year, making it way too complicated for myself, I decided to just use one main image, and I posted it up, and then I would follow that with a Metacritic score of the game. And then I would have either something else that was important in a third slide, or I would just end the slide off with one last image of, again, the beautiful background of whatever the game was, and then a quick little blurb as to what the game was about, like, you are a lone adventurer landing on an island, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, anyway, let me know if you guys liked it. I think that's kind of cool. I kind of like the way it turned out. I was happy with it. But I also always appreciate your guys' feedback because you're the guys that, you keep the YouTube channel going. I can pump up the videos, but if no one's watching, I think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. Also too, speaking of different languages, YouTube offers the opportunity to put on subtitles, which I assumed if I clicked on it, it would just, hear my voice and write the subtitles for me, but it wants me to type it out. I was like, why the fuck am I going to sit here for an hour typing out my own subtitles? That's absolutely ridiculous. Not sure why that's not even a feature. Like, we have the ability to, was it text? No, how do you say it? Chat to text or whatever. Like, there is an app that's like, why can't YouTube do it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just really stupid. Maybe it can. I wasn't reading it properly, but yeah, that's my rant about subtitles. Yeah, I think that pretty much takes care of everything that I've been playing. I'm on the last episode of The House of Usher. Terribly sorry. I was really hoping we could have finished it before this podcast, but sucks to suck. We didn't, so we'll definitely finish that this week, and probably take a little break, and then I will dive into Midnight Mass, because I know that's supposed to be another really good one. But like, unless the last episode does something that just really fucking pisses me off, this is the show. Definitely watch it. It is phenomenal. I can't say enough praise for The House of Usher. I think it was definitely one of my favorites out of the 3 I've seen so far. We'll have to see what number 4 is like. They said Midnight Mass. But so far, yeah, this one is... they just did an amazing job. Like, I don't want to spoil too much because it is still a newer show and all that. But just the twists, the turns, the dialogue between the main usher and the police officer is just so good, and the things that happen around that dialogue, right? Like, oh, I love those moments so much. And then just like, as you get to see each usher's lifestyle, basically, and what leads to their ultimate fate, it's just good. It's just so fucking good. Definitely the last one I watched, because I was kind of checking out when I was doing the last podcast for editing, right? And it was giving me rankings for every episode, and the one I just watched, I think it was the Telltale Heart. Is that the one? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, it's Freddy. He's one of the sons. It's his turn, and it lived to its point. Like, it was so good. Like, even like how things happened in the end, I was like, justice, baby, justice. Because the guy starts off, and like all the characters kind of talk about like what a weirdo he is and how they really don't like him. And I kind of felt bad for him. I was like, oh man, poor guy. He's just like being picked on, right? Like, for no reason. And as things start to happen and you see his character's true side come out, I'm like, well, this guy's a fucking douchebag. Like, I'm fucking happy things are turning out the way they are for him. Yeah, it was so good though, so good. Oh, they just did a fantastic job. Yeah, and right now the 2 ushers, the brother and the sister, it's the next chapter is going to be all about them. So it's kind of cool to see how that all plays together, because you got like little teases and stuff of things that might have happened and why you think this is the ball's rolling this particular way. But I'm still ready for a surprise. Like, I have ideas in my head, but I was like, it doesn't seem very good. And the way this show is going, I'm expecting something a little better at the end. So I'm excited. I'm excited to finish it up and finally get my real opinion on it all. Sorry, Ryu, would you say Midnight Mass? I'd say isn't as fun, but I liked it. You know what? I'm down. Like I said, as long as it's not like number 2, we're on a good streak. And I feel bad, right? Like, cause like number 1 was a banger. Now this one, House of Usher, is a banger. I hear Midnight Mass is excellent too, right? So I'm excited to watch that one. But I don't know what it is. The second one just didn't click. I don't know what it was. I really don't. Maybe because number 2 was, I guess it really wasn't similar to number 1. I don't know what it was. I really don't. Just number 2 just wasn't as good. I feel like they could have done a better job writing that one out. Yeah, Bile Manor. Bye, sorry, whatever. like it's good. Like I mean, the idea and the progress that goes on through the series is good and all that, right? But just it wasn't as impactful I found as Hill House or this one now, House of Usher. Um, yeah, it's a good take. That's a good take, actually. Yeah, the relationships were really sweet, but I didn't get it. Yeah, as a scary show. That's true. Maybe that's what it was. I was missing that scare factor. Because I mean, even the House of Usher, they could have made it just like the way it was, like kind of like cop and bad guy, talking it out. But all the little jump scares they throw into it, it's just timed so perfectly. Um, you feel like him. You know what I mean? Like basically the main usher, right? That's going through all this. He can see. Um, well, okay, I still don't know because there's still one episode left. So it could either be his dementia is really kicking in, or the pills he took, from his drug, because basically he's rich because he owns a drug company. Those are affecting him, or it could be that he's just fucking getting haunted. I don't know. There's a lot going on in that show, and I love it. I love it. But I like that you feel as crazy as he does. Like it's just I don't know. They just did such a great job. I just can't praise that show enough. Um, yeah, exactly. Like like I'm glad. Okay, you help the two kids find a happy ever after. Like that's not what I want in horror. um, yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah, I didn't really watch anything else. Like that stands out, right? I've watched Family Guy. Cheyenne and I had a difference of opinion because I wanted to watch from season 1 to 9, and she likes from season 10 onwards. I think the jokes are banging in 1 to 9. Just gonna say, just gonna say. But I do agree the newer ones also have their own special like click. Um, we watched Bob's Burgers, the movie, a little bit again. I think we got like halfway through it, then we fell asleep because they just leave it on right when we're ready to go to bed. So that was pretty good. Um, yeah, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the pig recap. Um, so with the Switch 2, again, the reason why I posted this one is I did watch um this one guy's video on YouTube. I'll give it a shout out when I do the editing. Um, oh, it is. The Bob's Burger movie is so good. Okay, Bob's Burgers movie. Oh my god, I'm mindful. You just can't speak today. Bob's Burger movie is great in the same way that the South Park movie was great. It's one of those movies from a cartoon that you could watch over and over and over again just because it's so fucking phenomenal. They took exactly what makes a good episode and just made it a longer episode. Where I think that's where like the Simpsons movie went completely wrong. The Simpsons movie just became this huge like environmental message. And it's like I don't want that from the fucking Simpsons. Like I want good fucking classic humor, which there was some, but it's not a movie I'm gonna pull out and watch every single day. Where I could do that with the South Park movie. Um, exactly like a super episode. Exactly. Even the first SpongeBob movie was amazing. Like they did a great job with that one too. That's one I could watch over and over again. The second SpongeBob movie is okay. It's funny. It's what I want, but it was nowhere near as good as the first one. It just I don't know. It's weird how some TV shows just really can't nail the movie perspective. Um, I'm trying to remember. I know there was another movie I watched too that was from a TV show, and I was like, man, this is fucking terrible. Um, oh yeah, Switch 2. I was like, I had a brain fart there. So yeah, this one guy was talking about Switch 2. And basically he made the comment that he thinks that the Switch 2 is gonna be as big as the Dreamcast launch was, or as the PlayStation 2 launch. Um, which really got me thinking, right? So I'm not saying it's a bad take or anything like that. I just was like, wow, I didn't really think of the Switch 2 as being that big. And I'm like, I wonder if it's just that individual that feels that way or more people feel this way. So I branched out on social media, on Discord, and on YouTube to get everyone's responses. Like I said, we had more response on Discord, not so much on Twitter and YouTube. That's okay. We'll build it up again. But yeah, like a lot of people felt that the Switch 2 probably will have a decent launch. Which I don't know. I don't know. JW kind of said it the best with me. We were having the conversation. I think the first Switch did really well because it was so unique. You know what I mean? It wasn't like other things out there. Oh, you caught Ditto? Oh, I missed that one. Good catch, Tommy. Way to go, buddy. Um, yeah. The Steam Deck 2, I was going to say, was another one that was kind of revolutionary, right? So that one also made sense why it was doing so well and did so well, right? During its launch times. But now we got the Switch 2, and it's like, what more are you going to do to it? Like, I mean, obviously better graphics, yada, 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 like that kind of stuff. But, like, what is this device going to be that's revolutionary? Because when it comes to Nintendo, right, every new system, you always expect something a little different, right? So, like, gonna go through the timeline here, but we got to the GameCube. Let's just say we had the little mini discs, right? Smallest console that was out for that generation. Extremely cheap, easy to afford. Then you move forward, right? You had the Wii, right, with motion controls. You had the Wii U, right, with the giant iPad device, right? Like, there's just always a little leap forward. So, yeah, I'm really curious what the Switch 2 is gonna offer. That's gonna make that game-changing experience. Shine, is the TV on?
What?
The TV's on, isn't it? Sorry, could you just turn down the TV? Oh, we have a remote again. That's right. We lost our remote in our house. Shine finally found it. Look how big this remote is. How do we lose this? This is like a bloody boomerang. Anyway, yeah, I just don't understand how some people can think that the Switch 2 is going to be as big as like a PlayStation 2. Like I said, that's the only gimmick I could think of that would take it to the next level. Because even if it comes out, it's launching with game after game after game, right? That people wanted. I don't think that's enough to make them go, I'm gonna buy the system, right? PS4 graphics too, like it all sounds cool, and I will probably definitely buy a Switch 2 at one point, the same way I bought a Switch at one point, right? But it's not gonna be like a day one purchase or a year one purchase for me. Yeah, I don't know, just really flabbergasted that that they think it could be as big as a PlayStation 2 launch, right? Just, I don't know. Doesn't seem like the timeline for that kind of, as I said, unless Switch 2 is going to offer something revolutionary. Just be what it is, I don't think that's enough to make it the next big launch. Then the next one, like we were talking about, was movies. So again, sorry Tom, what'd you say? But I bet it'll be like the Wii nunchucks with a sort of VR headset. Okay, that is a good shout though. Like if Nintendo did something with VR, that would be revolutionary, and that would be something that would definitely guarantee sales. That's a good idea, Tommy. That's actually a fucking banger idea. Oh man, I really hope they do something with VR. That would be so sick. It'd probably be the most expensive Nintendo console we've ever purchased. But that'd be kind of worth it. It'd be cool to see what Nintendo would do with VR. Yeah. That's a good one, Tommy. That's actually really good. Damn, that's really good. I feel like, I don't know if you've seen it before, but the Super Show. Oh my god, Super Show. Superstore. There's like this one episode where they changed, was it Cloud9's mascot to like what did they do show? Oh, it was a white woman. Just like mom buys this product, and then there's a character called Cheyenne, funny enough, that pipes up and goes, "Why wasn't there like a superhero that was like a cloud, and he fights prices?" And then like the DM's trying to like have the conversation. He keeps looking back and he's like, "That's a fucking awesome idea." He's like, "That is fucking on fire." That's how I feel right now with you. That was an on fire idea. Oh, you know how amazing that would be? Like, I hate Super Mario. Like, I'm not good at platformers. I just don't like them. But a VR platformer, like in that Super Mario Brother universe, that would be phenomenal. That would be the best time ever. Oh my God, Tommy, call Nintendo right now. I'm telling you, that's a great idea. Oh, Donkey Kong VR, Metroid VR, like, oddly enough, the most boring one seems like Legend of Zelda. I know it wouldn't be, but you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be, I don't think it would be as exciting as, like, Mario's universe or Donkey Kong's. I have a million ideas, that's true. This guy is pretty creative when it comes to build your own levels or something like that in a video game. Tommy always makes some pretty good contraptions. Um, but yeah, so so I was gonna say to you was if you had an idea, right, go ahead and shout it out to Tommy or say with you, Marie, if you're still there, or anyone that's listening. Basically, was there any TV shows or movies that have come out? And again, it could already be out. Maybe you just have a different take or an idea of what you would like, um, that you would like see changed into a video game. So, for example, my big one was The Matrix. I think The Matrix. Now it had some good games. Don't get me wrong, but I think what they should have done was dived into the Matrix the way it was meant to be. You know what I mean? Like I want to visit the real world, and I want to visit the Matrix, right? I want to be able to tap into that whenever. I don't. I mean, yeah, sure, give me my story, give me all that, but also kind of make it like an open sandbox where you can travel between them. I want fucking agents everywhere. Just out of the blue, they can attack you, right? Or shit can turn into the shit can turn on you pretty quick, is what I'm trying to say. So I mean, not just again, not just the story plot, but I also just want it to happen. I want that world to feel alive. I want it to be as fake as they tried to make it sound in the movies. You know what I mean? Like I want my character to eat a steak and go, "I know this isn't real, but it's so good." Like I want that whole 9 yards. I want to go into the real world and have those cyborg like aliens attacking me just because I'm fucking traveling. Trying to collect whatever it is, resources or whatever thing they want me to do. I also want like a badass skill tree, and you know, as you jack in, like in the Matrix, right? And they learn new stuff. I want like my skill tree to be like that. So instead of jacking in, right? Obviously, you level up, you earn that skill or whatever the case is, and then the cutscene could be them just uploading that information for you. Um, Another one I just shout out to Marie actually in the Discord was Digimon. I don't think there's now again I haven't looked at them all. I've looked at quite a few of them, but I've never seen a good Digimon game either. Like enough with the fighting games. I don't want Digimon Fighter. I'm not looking for Street Fighter Digimon version, okay? What I want is I want to be able to go into the digital world and just explore. You know how cool that first Digimon like TV show was? And it was awesome because it was such a unique place, and you got to see all these different parts of it. I want to explore that. I want to look at every inch of that world, come across all the different Digimon. I want an ability kind of like Pokemon where I can collect more than just one of them because I think having one would be kind of lame. I think if you're gonna go that way, that route, right, give the opportunity. Like even make it something like I don't know, like how can I say this? Make it all cheesy and sweet, like going like, "Hey, we had a great time, we became friends, but now I want to make friends with this Digimon." Like I don't know, I mean, whatever they have to do, right? I just want multiple Digimon, and I just wanted to explore that world. And then like, if it's my Otismon or whoever the final guy is, give me that one final boss, and that's the area you go to when you're all done. Then boom, end game. Go back to it, new game plus, and just do it all over again. That's the kind of Digimon game I want. I hate all these goddamn fighters. And every time I see it, I'm like, why? Like any other game series, they always try out different ideas. Digimon, it's always fucking the same thing. Here's Digimon Fighters. It's like, stop with the fighting games. Give us the RPG. Give us the open world to explore. Sorry to. Aw, thanks, Tommy. I appreciate it. I saw this idea from a YouTube video someone made, but a Lego Breaking Bad video game. You know what? That's good. That's good. I think when it comes to Lego, you could take anything at this point and make it into a Lego something or other. Lego has gone from just being like this creative thing to being also like humor and parodies to things. And they do it so well. Like, who would have thought Lego would be as funny as it can be? You know what I mean? Um, yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, like I said, Lego anything would work. The last one I had, I mean, I probably keep going, right, if I think, but the other one I was really focused on. I notice how all my ideas are kind of the same. I just want to explore the world. Because I think a lot of games don't just take that step. They think they need to give you this big story. They think they need to reinvent the game, like I said, as a fighter, or let's say as a racing game, or whatever it is, right? It's like, we don't want that. Sometimes we just want to be in the world that we were watching, right? Like, it's one thing to watch a show, it's another thing to play in that world. I just, yeah, I'm surprised they don't understand that. But my last one was Jurassic Park. And then when I say Jurassic Park, I want to go back to the 90s Jurassic Park. Do you know how fucking cool it would be to just play a game? And I know they had this. They had this way back in the Super Nintendo, but come on now. We've upgraded, you know what I mean? We need like the new age version of Jurassic Park. But yeah, I want to be able to go to that island. Excuse me. Again, I want to explore it. I even thought as far as I want Ubisoft. I know it's terrible to say. I want Ubisoft to create it. And why? Because I think they would give it the perfect Far Cry touch. And in a Jurassic Park game, you almost need the Far Cry touch. And what I mean by that is, I don't want bases to overtake from enemies, but instead I want bases to take to like build the communication on the island, right? Like, you could have, because in the movie they had it too, right? There's little huts and stuff that have different functions and all that, and it is like the main island headquarters, right? So you could have the main island headquarters, and then the job could be like, in order to turn the power back on, you have to go to this side of the island and activate this generator. And then as you're going through the island, right, you might have to go through like, what is it, the tall grass areas where the velociraptors are. You might have to just go through like a place where the triceratops, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's could be all these different parts of the island that you would have to go through and explore, which they might require different things, right? Like grappling or gliding or, like, I just make it. Just make it. It'd be so good. Even like, I know it would be cheesy as all hell, but I also want them to have an ability to ride dinosaurs. Not everyone. I get you shouldn't ride them all. There are some dinosaurs that doesn't make sense, right? But like, fucking, let's ride a brontosaurus. Like, you know what I mean? Or even just have access to all the cool vehicles they did. But just exploring that world would just be so fantastic. And there is so much that game can offer you, right? I mean, you have like obviously your action scenes, but it would be a little bit horror, right? Think of some of the dinosaurs in that movie, like the Velociraptor, just like like popping up and attacking you, or I can't even remember how to say the one dinosaur's name, but the one with the really pretty fan around it. Imagine those just stalking you and eventually like shooting acid into your eyes. And then of course it's a video game, right? So the video game could have a reaction so that it actually seems like your vision's blocked and stuff like. There's so much. I know it's a big ass request. I know that'd probably be a lot, but give us Jurassic Park. Like, just give us the fucking island. It's such a missed opportunity. Jurassic World was great though. I will not shoot that one down. It was cool being the park owner. Now I want to be the survivor. Yeah, that's definitely three: Matrix, Jurassic Park, and Digimon. I think all three of those would make fantastic video games if done that particular way. So I just have the rest of my cranberry cocktail juice. Ocean spray, you make good juices. And then the last one we had, um, if you have any more though, Tommy, by all means, please shout them out. Was a class that we think was mandatory, which I used to like, put my flag in the hill and always say psychology. I still think psychology is really important, but as I got older, not that understanding people isn't important, but I'm starting to feel like it was a little more important, I guess. Going back to Marie's point of just having like those, I don't know what you would call it. Like, oh man, she phrased it really good there. I can't remember what it was now. But like those basic, like, common knowledge stuff, like, again, how to change a tire, um, how to cook. Um, Even I'm trying to think like wisdom middle class, a little more technical, I guess, with some stuff there. But I mean, yeah, something simple like like how to build a birdhouse, or just things like now that I think about, and I'm just like, man, I wish. I mean, I know I can still learn it, and that cheesy crap you can learn till you're old, right? But as we get older, we get lazier. Let's be honest, and we don't usually challenge ourselves as much. At least mindful doesn't. Um, but yeah, I think like learning those skills at a young age were so much more beneficial than I realized. Um, like I said, especially the car stuff, like just basics of knowing how to change your oil, knowing how to fill the tire up, how to put gas in the tank. Like these are things I know now, right? But I just think, whether it is 16 to 18, whatever age group you want to start teaching that stuff, I just think that would have been good to know. Especially cooking, I mean, we all kind of make fun of it. We all think cooking's really easy, but I mean, having a little more knowledge on what makes sense, I think would have been. Um, this is just a cow staring at me. I think would have been a lot better, at least for myself. A few of you seem to feel the same way, so that's good. But yeah, I think that kind of class is the most useful. Um, Second, it's hard because, again, I want to say psychology, but as someone who took like basic math or consumer math or essentials math or whatever terminology they want to use, I think that one was really good. I wish I was smart enough I would have kept that knowledge that I had, but I didn't. But you did learn a lot about income taxes. You learned a lot about property, owning and buying, and all that kind of stuff. I remember we got to do this really cool project where we basically got like a job that we picked out of a hat, right? And then we had to make an entire month budget out of it, and we had to talk about how we're going to live our lives just with that income as if we never got promoted. Um, Mine was really terrible. I think I got garbage man. No, it had to be something else. It wasn't garbage man. I remember my wage is really low, and I was like, shit, man. Like, how am I gonna live off this? And my teacher was just trying to teach me a lesson. He was like, see, this is how you don't pay attention in class. This could be your future. And I was like, well, this fucking sucks. I think at the end, because we had like he was smart, right? Like, so you had to get food and all this other stuff. But on top of that, you also had to have an entertainment budget. You couldn't just say $0. And I think mine was like $10 or $20. I could buy like a couple DVDs a week. That was my entertainment. I'd have to save up if I wanted to buy a video game console. That obviously you would never get there in time. Yeah, that was a really good one. And then we just, like other things too. We got to learn about compound interest. We got to learn about RSPs, or what would it be? The state's 401ks, I think they're called, the retirement savings plans. We got to learn about our government and like the Canadian pension plan and what EI is and all that other kind of stuff. It was really good. It was I think it was just a really solid course. Um, yeah, I think in school we don't give enough credit to those courses. I think common knowledge is just as important as English, math, science. I think there should be a good, healthy mix with those two. Sorry, Tom. Would you say it is a movie? But how about Coneheads, a video game? Ooh, yeah, it is a great movie. And Coneheads, a video game, would not be a bad idea, Tommy. Um, See, it breaks my heart because that is a good idea for just like a nice classic side scroller or something like that, like old school, retro kind of game. Um, but because there's obviously no new movie coming out or like that, the possibility of that happening is just so minimum, which is yeah, that's just heartbreaking to think about. Because that would be, that's the other thing. We don't have enough of those kind of games. You know what I mean? Like the nice little side scrollers. Um, there used to be like so many of those kind of games, and then they just kind of died out. Which again, right? So I've been hyping up Sega this year, because I would love to see Sega bring some of those old games back, give a little fresh coat of paint, and hopefully get other companies thinking like, hey, this is a cool idea. We kind of miss this style. It looks like it did pretty well in sales. Maybe we'll copy it, right? It'd be nice to see that trend come back again. I miss the classic side scrolling actions. Oh, sorry guys. I'm not the most mindful today because it's just a long ass day. There's just a lot of shit to do at work. Um, yeah. Trying to think if there was anything else I really had. No, that was pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much Mindful's hot takes of the day. um, what are we at here? Oh my god. Well, it's one of those days. I guess everyone's busy, so maybe Mindful will save himself a quick little edit, and yeah, maybe I'll just wrap it up then. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it's a little harder with just Mindful by himself. I could talk for about an hour, and then after that, it's like, that's it. Mindful's capped, unless he's doing something. Really? That's so funny. Dreaming about being tired. Oh, Tommy, I feel you, buddy. I don't know. It must be winter, eh? Like I've just been so exhausted. Cheyenne's so exhausted. I don't know if you're feeling the same way, Tommy, or just like a 1 day thing for you. But yeah, man, winter just tuckers you out. And our store is so cold. Like it's so annoying. So I wore my boots the last couple of days because my feet were just numb. Um, yeah, hibernation mode. Hell yeah. My feet were just like numb from working at work. So I kept my boots on. I know, whatever, Cheyenne. I kept my boots on just to stay warm. Yeah, while I was working. Oh. Yeah. And anyway, so with this little world here, it's a little hard while I'm talking. So when people are talking, it's even harder when they are. I'm finding as I get older, it's harder to concentrate on two things at the same time. Apparently, but I do want to like fool around in this world and kind of build like a two tire dudes, um, like headquarters, I guess you want to call it. Well, I did with Fun Dead, but because he's not here, right, and it was his world, I'll have to make a new one now. So I don't have all the items too. Well, that's weird. But yeah, that's my idea with this anyway. I'm gonna fart around with it and make one. I might actually just have a stream where I just build a two tire dudes world and just gonna muck around, I guess. Oh look, there we go. We already got the tea settled. But yeah, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging out today and listening to me ramble on during the podcast. Sorry this one was a little bit short and sweet and to the point, and no one's really on. But we'll hopefully have some guests next time. Thank you, Tommy, and thank you, Marie, for tuning in and just chatting with me. We'll probably do the same questions then next week so that, you guys get to hear other people's opinions, and I'll throw in a few new ones. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a beautiful night, and I'll catch you tomorrow, Tommy, with Nobody Saves the World. Goodbye. So long.